Hello, what's going on, guys? Hockey Guy 1 here. Welcome to my review of Captain Marvel. So, Captain Marvel is directed by Anna Baden and Ryan Fleck and stars Brie Larson, Samuel Jackson, Ben Mendelsohn, Lee Pace, and Jude Law. So, the story is about Vers, or Carol Danvers, or Captain Marvel, is going on a mission to stop the scroll off of this planet called C-23 or Earth, and she ends up running into S.H.I.E.L.D., in which she has to end up, in which something happens, or she ends up having to stay it and stop this war. So for the most part, the story is done pretty well. It's pretty coherent for at least the first two acts. And the first two acts are done very well. And put together very well. That's how they do most of the story. And the backstory stands pretty decent, but it could be much worse, for sure, but it's very decent for what it is. Brie Larson, I think she did a great job in this role. I know a lot of people looked and think she looked like she isn't, but I thought she did. So I think she looked like she was into it, and she looked like she knew what she was doing throughout. And I do think she did a pretty great job for sure. For sure, as Captain Marvel. I don't think I can really imagine anyone else being Captain Marvel after this movie, to be honest. So Samuel Jackson is great as always. He doesn't really ever have a bad role, and he does fantastic. He's a great actor, one of the best in the business, and he did a great job here for sure. For what Captain Marvel's character was, most was pretty good. It wasn't 100% fleshed out. I'll have to get to my one problem with her character and the negatives, but for parts of it, I think her character is pretty well done for the most part. I do feel like her development and trust with the Skrulls and the Krees was done pretty well, and that's the part that I liked about her character. That part of her character was done pretty well, but that's definitely not a perfect character at all. So Nick Fury is probably the best character in this movie, to be honest. His development in this movie is done extremely well. It shows everything, how he had to get his eye patch. It shows everything. Yeah, saying that needs to be explained to the character and good development for him, especially when it showed how he came up with the Avengers idea. It's done pretty well, and yeah, it's done pretty well. But what it was, his character and the trust with Captain Marvel is done very well, which is what I like how they do that. The Skrulls were just decent characters. They weren't really anything spectacular, but they were pretty good and pretty decent. The way they were handled as misunderstood characters, and their characters. You can kind of feel for them more than you can feel for our main characters because of the way that they were developed throughout this movie. The action scenes, they're fantastic. Without a doubt, the best part about this movie is the action scenes. All the fights in this, when Captain Marvel first fights the Skrulls, and climax. Actually, fight Ronan done pretty well. Yeah, as well as when he followed. Others done pretty well. And they're good action scenes, what they are. And the costume designs as well were fantastic. The green one looks pretty good on screen. And then when they got the comic book one, her new one is very comic book accurate. The red and blue one And so I like how they do that. It looks really good on screen, and it's a pretty good way to put it on screen as well. Well, it's a pretty good job by designing it by the costume designers, and how they make it look similar to the comics. And so that's what I like about it. The soundtrack was pretty good, and kind of, they even put songs from the 90s to match the time this set in, which is pretty cool to be honest. And they're good songs to put in there, and they fit the moment pretty well. With that said, I do have some negatives, and as you may remember earlier in this video, I did say it wasn't 100% fleshed out with Captain Marvel's character. This is the part where I didn't really like about her character, like if you look at the way her powers were developed, like they felt ridiculously rushed, and more to get her into that part, make her like master them for Infinity War or Endgame, which is just bad development. They could have done much better with that, with her mastering her powers, like explaining better how she obtained them and how she mastered them. It just felt completely rushed, and kind of felt Mary suing her character, and it just was not very well how they used her powers. Without a doubt, though, the worst part about this movie is the visual effects. I mean, my God, they just look so terrible. I mean, every time she uses her powers, it just looks so fake and unconvincing. And this isn't really a low-budget movie. This is a pretty high-budget movie, and it has awful visuals. There's not really any excuse. It's kind of like Black Panther. It has really bad visuals that look really fake. And just some of the worst visuals that the MCU has put out, for sure. And then Ronan he's kind of the main villain here. There's kind of multiple ones in this movie, but he is not developed very well in this movie at all. He's done awful. Like, he was fine. I kind of like the way she did it in Guardians of the Galaxy. See, that was fine. Is his development here, but here he's just awful and completely bland, and only shows up like two scenes. It's completely bland and terrible. So overall, Captain Marvel is a pretty good movie despite its flaws, and I'm gonna give Captain Marvel a 7 out of 10. That was my review of Captain Marvel. What are your thoughts on Captain Marvel? Tell me in the comments below, and I'd like to thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you next time. Bye.